Hello everyone, my name is Gavin Ong. I'm currently a journalist working for the Daily Mirror, and in this week's video, I'll be comparing and contrasting an example of a Daily Mirror printed newspaper with its digital form. There are two different forms of newspapers, quality and popular, which can be portrayed as either printed or digital. News communication through printed form was the traditional method of communication, while the recently emerging digital newspapers are refreshable versions of the traditional printed newspaper. The different forms of communications have similarities and differences in their audience purpose, focus, layout, headlines, visuals, and language, which will be discussed in this podcast. Despite their contrast, both forms of newspaper can only be split into two different categories, quality and popular. The two different forms of the article have differences in their audiences in terms of demography and perspectives. The article of both presentation forms is a quality newspaper as it features formal language with serious tone. Hence, literate individuals are more likely to be interested. In addition, more mature individuals are likely to read the printed form as they grow up with the old system, while less mature individuals are likely to read the digital version as it is much more trendy in the current urban world. Moreover, the media company of the different newspaper types capture the personal, social, and cultural perspectives of the audience, as it discusses the origin of the virus, people in the wrong, and possible flaws in the Chinese methods for handling viruses, in order to gain a larger social circle and ultimately income. Both forms of the news article feature a large amount of interpreted evidence stemming from quotes of an intelligence expert that COVID came from a virology center in Wuhan. As a result, the articles in both forms are editorials with the purpose of informing and persuading the audience into viewing the situation from their perspective. The main focus of both media forms of the article is about an intelligence expert providing highly probable details that COVID came from a virology center. However, the printed form has other irrelevant sub-details at the start, as more mature populations and retirees are more probable to read the whole article due to the amount of time in their hands, in contrast to adults who have less time due to their working lifestyle. The layout in the printed and online version of the article have differences in the format of their homepage. In contrast to the digital version, which has a main headline accompanied by a subheading to provide elaboration, followed by a main visual and a line to provide details about the author and publication, the printed version has all the main elements of the digital form except for a main visual and a subheading. The writers of the digital article need to ensure that the article is written in a short summary format to provide the audience with a good starting idea, as online readers have short attention spans. The two different newspaper versions use dissimilar techniques to capture the reader's attention by underlining the solemnity of the issue. The main image of the printed newspaper highlights the phrase within it in big bold letters, such that the magnitude of the coronavirus situation is not understated. Conversely, the visual of the media form shows two possibly Chinese researchers in heavy protective suits to showcase the danger of the virus to the readers. Emotionally compelling headlines were used by both media versions to influence the readers into reading the new article. While the printed form of the article uses the wanted idea of the origin of COVID, the digital form uses the negative connotation of secretive, with reference to Chinese people to stir pre-existing tension into the article, ultimately sparking interest in individuals with a personal and social perspective. In addition, the attentiveness of readers with a cultural perspective are drawn to the article as it possibly infers that the actions of Chinese people need to be changed. The Daily Mirror uses technical, complex words and active voice in the dissimilar newspaper forms to trigger the newspaper's attention and persuade them. Both article forms are hard news as its main topic is about a claim that COVID came from a virology center. As a result, literal and concrete language is used to make the writing more formal in the different media forms to capture the reader's attention about the significance of the issue. Furthermore, active voice is used to aid the reader in visualizing the situation such that he or she is better persuaded to view the situation from the author's point of view. The different news article formats also use loaded language to promote the point of view that the virology center is in the wrong for starting COVID. It was stated that the virus was used as a biological weapon, with the word weapon being a negative connotation to the word tool. This hence influences the readers to side with the author, believing that Chinese people are in the wrong. Repetition and high modality words were implemented into both versions to influence the reader into supporting the author. The two phrases highly probable and high probability were used multiple times in both article versions to reinforce the message, with the words high and highly convincing the reader to side with the author that the virology unit was a likely cause for the COVID outbreak, without providing false news. Similar focus and language was used in both forms to capture the audience's attention and persuade them into viewing the origin of COVID in their point of view. However, the two distinct versions have differences in their layout, audience, headlines, and visuals in terms of demographic, format, and word choice. Despite these contrasts, choice will still play an important role in the favorable method for receiving news, as the different media formats still have a similar purpose of informing and persuading the audience by targeting different perspectives of personal, social, and cultural. Thank you for listening. Please contact my email address gavin.ong@dailymirror.com if you have any questions or queries.